Okay, well, I had to create a storyboard prior to taping a bike rack installation video for a project I worked on. I decided to use Adobe InDesign because of the easy layout features. I'm currently running InDesign on a MacBook Pro M1, although I believe the steps are going to be identical or very similar on a Windows machine. I also created two final project albums in the Photos app on the MacBook to contain the video, screenshots, and other items related to the project. All right, to get started, I began rough storyboard sketches on paper to determine how many scene holders I would need to create in my InDesign document. I ended up with 8 scenes, so I will want 2 4-up pages. I first create an 11 by 8.5 horizontal InDesign document with 1/2-inch margins. Then I went to layout, margins, and columns and created 2 columns. I increased the default gutter to 0.375 inches to provide suitable horizontal spacing for my scenes. If I wanted a 6 or 9 up board, I would just create 3 columns at this step instead of 2. And now it's time to draw the first scene box. I use the rectangle tool to create my title box with no stroke. And then to draw my first scene box, I want a 1-point stroke applied. I want the same scene box to approximate a 16:9 aspect ratio to match my video. It's shot on an iPhone. So I do a hand calculation based on the width of the rectangle to determine the height I need. Then I click to release constrained proportions and change the height to the calculated 2.714 inches. And now that I have a properly sized box, I copy and paste it below the original and then create a 0-point stroke text box for my scene notes. I copy that also and place it on the bottom margin line. Just pull it all the way down. I now select all 4 boxes and use Align Distribute Vertical Space so that the spacing is equal. Then I'm going to copy that column of 4 boxes, the vertical column, and paste it to the right. This is totally optional, but I use the corner options to add a 0.03125 rounded corners for a more stylized appearance. Well, I already know I need 8 scene holders, so it's time to create page 2. So I insert a new page and change the document setup to start page number 2. So pages appear side by side for now. And this is totally optional also. You can work vertically if you like as well. Now it's time to do some more pasting. I select all the content on page number 1, copy it, and paste it onto the newly created page 2. This is optional also, but set the paragraph style if you like. It's very easy to do. You just set basic paragraph character style to whatever you like. And once I had that set, then I began entering the screen notes for each panel. Save yourself some trouble later and lock that base later. I've had more problems with items in the entire Adobe suite, running into other objects and disrupting them. So when you're done with that base layer, just lock it off. Lock the layer. That way you don't have to worry about damaging it as you begin drawing the scenes. All right, and then comes the fun part of the drawing. So for me, I changed the pencil tool fidelity to 20 pixels and smoothness to 50% and began sketching the scenes based on my original hand sketches. You may want to play with those values a little. You might want the fidelity higher or lower. Actually, it's almost as high as it'll go. You may want it lower, and you may want to adjust the smoothness. To do the drawing itself, I use a combination of my mouse and a tablet to sketch. I'm not very good on the tablet, so honestly, I did most of it on the mouse. And wherever I could, I copied and pasted repetitive line segments from similar panels when possible. When I finished sketching, I exported the InDesign file as a PDF in both horizontal facing pages and vertical formats to give me multiple presentation options later. And that's it. Here's the finished InDesign file exported as a PDF. Here I have the horizontal, the facing pages layout, but in at least my version of Acrobat DC, you can adjust the horizontal and vertical views at will. So just display it however you want, and then you're able to print it or do whatever you need to do with it. That's it. Thank you for watching. I hope this is helpful for someone. Please leave any questions or if you have a comment below, and I'll be happy to see those and respond. Thank you.